All right. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is that one, that only, that beautiful Rhode Island Red Rooster, and this is another episode of bring you the knowledge and drop the science in this industry of what we call trucking. Tonight, I'm going to be talking about life lessons. Life lessons. Some of the things that I wish that people would have went more into detail about that would have helped me as a younger person that I'm finding out a little bit later in the game that it's helpful, but now I have to put more I have to put more of an effort to make sure that certain things get done. And I hope that my listening audience are well, I'm assuming that a lot of my listening audience and stuff are people that are younger than myself that I can pass this information on to you to where it can be beneficial down the road. Because the name of the game again is that we are as successful as possible. But we have to really talk about the real um, we got to talk about the real issues that pertain to us in life so that we are prepared, right? And I want to give it to you from a business standpoint to where when I break it down, right, that it doesn't sound like a hustle because when people are trying to give information, it's more on a hustle. It's more on a hustle side thing, and so when it looks like a hustle and it sounds like a hustle, then people are not going to really take it seriously, and so they take bits and pieces of something, and instead of just giving the information to you that will be beneficial, they'll say, well, some people will charge you for the information, and again, that's okay, as long as the information is giving you result, as long as it's giving you result. So something that's on a basic platform, people are charging large sums of money, saying that okay, well, I did the research for you. When in fact, I mean, it's simplified, but it's not something that's often talked about. It's not something that's often talked about, and so it can lead people in certain positions. Like you know, taxes, for instance. You don't see too many CPAs. You don't see too many CPAs up here and stuff. And anyone can declare themselves to be a CPA, right? And so they're giving information, and they're giving information and so on and so forth that could be beneficial, but based on where you at, based on where you at or your level of understanding, you see, it's not that you can go in and get the complete understanding about something unless you are going to be dedicating yourself to the craft, right? Just like most of us that are up here are truck drivers, and so we'll get more in depth about the industry and stuff, regardless of whether you're a company driver, own operator, lease driver, whatever. So that's what this platform is centered on. And so sometimes we speak about things on life that can be generalized, but um, I want people to incorporate some of the things that I'm going to talk about, incorporate it in your lifestyle, regardless of what position that you are in trucking, because one of the things again I stress is that there should be no reason why you hold a CDL license, right? Why you have a, commercial driver's license and you got bad credit. um, there should be no reason why you holding a commercial driver's license, you're not making six figures. You don't have to be an own operator to do it. You got company drivers out here now that can make six figures. You should have a certain amount in your bank account. You shouldn't have bad credit. Um, you shouldn't have bad credit. You should have a certain amount in your bank account, and you should be at least making six figures as a company driver. I'm just saying that's lowest common denominator. And so, in my business ventures, I I want to get an understanding about the life insurance thing, cause that's something that people are talking about. But again, when they're giving it from a hustle side, when they're giving it to you from a hustle side, they're making it seem as though okay, you just put a small amount, they put a small amount, or people just think when they talk about life insurance, they're just talking about something that you need that's not going to be beneficial to you. You know, something that you leave behind for your others to take care of, your final expenses, so on and so forth. And um, you could use it that way, but then there are other ways and stuff that's more beneficial. That if a person was to give you the breakdown, and so again, there's something else that I'm going to be pushing for anyone and stuff that's on my channel, that we get the understanding about life insurance and how it can benefit you regardless of what position that you're in. So I gathered enough information to speak on it so that it won't be any kind of you know it won't be any kind of questions in between there. And if there are any questions, then it's something that you can reach out to me about, and I can speak more in depth about it. Okay. So with that being said, I welcome everybody. Preacher, thanks for giving me the thanks for letting me know that my sound and stuff is good, and so we can go ahead and break into tonight's science. All right, life lessons. As you guys have been probably looking on the social media, you probably see some guys that are up there that are talking about life insurance and say, well, you know what? Don't put your money into a savings account. Get you a life insurance policy. And with this life insurance policy, you can sit there and borrow against yourself. The interest rates are the interest rates are 6%. It's 6%. It pays for itself over time, and then after a certain amount of time, you can live off of it like a retirement plan, because this is something that's very this is something that's very serious. It's something that's very serious, and people need to be taken into accountability. And so, um, back in the times of old and stuff, right? Like when I was born, my father was retired. My father was retired from two jobs and stuff. He served 22 years in the military, which at the time you could take your military service and move into a federal position. You can get you a federal job, and that time will carry over and stuff. And so you retire from the military, then you do a certain amount of time in a federal job or a state job. Um, it's not like you got to do another 20 years or whatever. You could be up for retirement and stuff there, and you can retire and you can get you two paychecks and stuff that pay out over life. So, um, but again, at the time, you could go into the military at a very young age. My father was born in he was born 1935. So you see, there were different times and stuff back then. Now, the military requires a certain, you can go, yeah, you have to graduate high school and stuff like that. So, particularly going to be 18 years old. And so, another thing that you don't see a lot of people and stuff doing, they're not going into the military and staying in the military for, said amount of time. Hold up. Let me plug this up right quick because my battery is going dead. Okay. So, to make a long story short, it used to be when you went to a job, if you put a certain amount of time in, you could retire with your pension, or they paid you your benefits and stuff, and so on and so forth. That's just not the case now. So, um, to give a breakdown of life insurance policy, what is it that you have to get? Okay, you're a truck driver, right? You're a truck driver. You got your commercial drive license. You're going over to some starter company, right? Whether it's Warner, JB Hunt, U.S. Express, wherever. So you're going to be making a certain amount of income. You're going to be making a certain amount of income in your first year. You know, it's safe to say that you know getting into trucking, you're going to be making more money than any other job you ever worked. Okay, so this job you can make six figures. You can make six figures as you start to get an understanding, but you're going in a young age, right? So some things you can definitely afford is whole life. You can afford whole life insurance, all right, because you know you're focusing on maybe trying to get you a better car, or trying to get you a better car and stuff to improve, to improve your status and stuff. I guess, a lot of people care about, even though they say they don't, but people actually do care about um, how other people and stuff look at them and what is whatnot. But um, financial discipline has to be established. And so, as a young person, it's something that you need to start looking into very seriously, right? Because you can go out there, you can mess your money up and stuff, you know, doing all this other stuff, trying to impress others, then trying to do things and stuff to improve your life. So, the whole life, right? You're looking at a whole life insurance policy. So, in order to get a whole life insurance policy, there are certain qualifications that you got to have in order for you to be approved. And so, one of the things is your health, right? One of the things is your health. So, um, it's almost a sure shot thing that you're going to get approved for whole life based upon your physicality because you had to get a DOT physical card, right? That you got a DOT physical card that certified you for 2 years, and so it's basically the same thing. They're gonna be checking certain stuff or whatnot. You may not be hard on your addictions and stuff yet, alcohol, smoking, that sort of thing. There again, you're in your 20s. So you're in your 20s. So how the whole life insurance policy work is that it's a policy that's going to cover you once you pass away. But if you get if you get a certain amount of coverage, if you get a certain amount of coverage, let's just say, we're talking about millions, right? Maybe 1.5 million. Or what I would say, the younger you are, the better chance of you getting a higher policy and a lower premium. So we'll say 2.5 million. So you get a policy for $2.5 million. What that means is that after a certain amount of time, right? After a certain amount of time, the policy is going to pay for itself with the policy is going to pay for itself after a certain amount of time, and then you can also borrow against it, which people are talking about. You can borrow against it. You got interest that pays on your policy, and if you borrow against it, then the interest that's paid is based upon the interest that paid is based upon the money that you put in and not the money that you take out. Because once you take it out, it's still going to show that your money is going to be at a certain amount. So let's just say you got $100,000 in. You got $100,000 in. You might borrow $30,000. The interest is still going to pay on the $100,000, even though you borrowed the $30,000, and then you're paying yourself back with no interest. So it's just like having a savings account at your bank, but you're borrowing against yourself. You're becoming your own bank over time, right? It's not something that starts right away. It's something that happens over time. But time is all you have, and so whether you live and stuff 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, or whatever, you have to live, and so there are certain set asides that you have to put in play. And so, what better way to have these set asides put in play and stuff, things that you can afford, that you're going in as a young person. So, if you get a whole life insurance policy, and say you start out in your 20s, then if you keep your policy up after a certain amount of time, it pays for itself. That means you don't have to make any more premiums anymore. And say that you started out at a young age, you start out in your 20s. So a $2.5 million policy will probably cost you, as a young person in your 20s, probably maybe $400 or $500 a month, right? $400 or $500 a month, whole life policy. So is a retirement a real? Is retirement a real thing? Is it a serious thing for you? Yeah. Okay. Because you're paying into this premium, and so after 15 years, it pays for itself. So you start in your 20s. Let's just say you get your CDL and stuff anywhere between 21 and 25, right? So 15 years, 15 years at 25 will make you 40, right? So the numbers and stuff go down. So 25, I mean, so 40, 39, 38, 37, 36, 35, right? 15 years. The policy pays for itself. So now you got 20 years. So now you got 20 years into this policy, 5 years where you don't have to pay a premium. And then the only thing you have to do is just keep on living. The only thing you have to do is just keep on living. So I'm saying you kept this policy now. So, you retire. They say the retirement age for most Americans now is around 67. So, but let's just say you do 65. Let's just say you do 65. Um, so you got another 25 years. You got another 25 years of having this account at 6% interest that you done did the 15 and stuff, and now the policy pays for itself, right? So now you got 30 years. Excuse me, you got 30 years at 6% interest that you never have to pay into and stuff. You can borrow against it. You can borrow against it, and the rates steady go up. The rate steady go up and stuff, right? So you got that nest egg and stuff that's sitting behind you that you invested 15 years and stuff into. So when you start looking around and you start seeing certain things and stuff that certain people have in this industry, it's not all based upon what they doing out here and stuff as far as like driving truck, for instance. You see people and they got W900s. They got W900s and they got the custom truck with the custom sleeper and the custom trailer and stuff like that. But then if you follow them from their younger years, they didn't have some of these things that they have that they can afford now. And they say, oh, well, yeah, I got it all through trucking and stuff like that. But yeah, you can do it that way. But I'm saying if you got a nest egg or something that you started from a young age, right, that somebody turned you on to, or something that you had to have, this information that was passed down to you, something that you had to have and stuff, which is a requirement and stuff that I'm professing that you got to have now and stuff as truck drivers. But somebody really sat down and talked to you and let you know how this whole thing goes. So now, you know, they got a certain amount of time in this industry. They got this nest egg here and stuff, and then they tell you, okay, well, yeah, I got it all through working hard and stuff like that. And yeah, working hard through investing your money the correct way. It's not something that a person is started out with. He just started out with just a few pennies in his pocket, and he just got lucky and went down here to some bank, and the bank just went on ahead and said, "Yeah, yeah, we'll go ahead and give you a loan for X amount of dollars. Yeah, we'll give you a loan for $200,000 or $300,000, and we'll give you this fair interest rate. We'll give you this fair interest rate that you can pay over time in this industry that fluctuates and stuff. That fluctuates on a regular because we're finding out now that the company U.S. Express, they've been U.S. Express and stuff. They've been acquisitioned by Knights Swift by Knight Swift. You see, so one carrier that became two carriers that also swallowed up another carrier is now acquisitioning another carrier. And so, this is U.S. Express, the second largest trucking company on the planet, that has now been acquisitioned by the fourth largest trucking company on the planet. So you can see they say, well, what was the reason for the acquisition? It was because, you know, um, they took such a loss. The carrier took such a loss that they had to sell. It was either had to sell and stuff and go under. So, you know, and then here you are and stuff looking and saying, yeah, I can go to a bank and get a loan for a certain amount of money, and that's just not it. So, um, You got to put your money in the right place. You got to start investing. So the stock market, cryptocurrency, and all these other things, there's a market of fluctuation and things that you gotta understand on a more deeper level. You know, you gotta the stock market, that sort of thing there. So whole life insurance is a more easier way of investing your money that will have a guaranteed payout in the end over time. So it's not even, it's based upon you and what you put in there. So you set your premium up, you pay your premium, that's it. It's no market that you got to watch to see if it's taking some kind of hit or not. That's just income that you put in there and stuff, just like a bank account, you know. But it's a bank account that collects large sums of interest. You in a bank account, you get what 1% interest. People look at it. We're seeing things and stuff with the banks now, talking about banks and stuff are closing, and you're not allowed to get a certain amount, or so on and so forth. They're telling the truth now about how banks and stuff work. Yeah, they take your money and then they're putting it to work, and they're putting it to work for the banks and stuff to make money. But you can't do anything with it. You can't put your money and stuff to work the same way they put it to work. So you're just investing the money without all this scamming and stuff going on. Without all the cryptocurrency type stuff. It's whole life insurance. It benefits you. It benefits you. It benefits your family. You know, in the event that you do pass away, that you have your affairs and stuff in order, because a lot of time, I mean, we're all going to die. We're all going to die. That's a fact of life. And because of this and stuff, but we go about arrogantly thinking that, you know, that we're going to somehow later on save up this amount of money so when things and stuff happen, oh well, we're just going to go and take care of it. And a lot of people just don't have things and stuff in play because they don't, for whatever reason, they don't think it's important. It's very strange that a person will sit out there and um, they'll buy the latest iPhone, or they'll brag on social media and stuff about the fact that they got $150 pair of shoes. But you won't go out here and you won't go out here and get no life insurance policy, or get you some medical insurance and stuff like that. Okay, well, because this is not something that I have to deal with on a regular. You're only gonna pass away one time. You're not gonna get sick. You're not gonna get sick as much, or not to a point to where it just completely and totally puts you out of work. And so, with whole life, there's also you have a policy in there that also takes care of you and stuff in the event that something happens and you're not able to work. It's not no, they got a short term and long term inside your whole life policy. So it's not like you gotta go to Aflac or all these other places and stuff. It's pretty much it's a one shot, it's a one stop shop that's inside this policy that takes care of you on all sides. And so you pay your premium just like you do anything else, and you good to go and stuff. And so and it's only for a certain amount of time. And then these are things and stuff that you borrow against yourself. You don't have to go to no bank and stuff and sit over here and fill out paperwork and all this other nonsense and stuff there. You got the capital that's needed. You invest in yourself and you pay yourself back at 0% interest. So, but it's something that's not talked about, or if it is talked about, it's talked about incorrectly. And so, it is something that's based upon time. It is something that's based upon consistency. But it doesn't take a lot of research. You see, it doesn't take a lot of research, and you don't have to follow the latest trends or whatever and stuff. It's a policy that you set up. It's a policy that you set up based upon what you can afford and you can pay it. But I'm saying, you drive trucks, you make six figures. So, why not get into something that's going to take care of you over time? But it's not something that's explained to you when you're younger. See, when you get up to your 40s and stuff, yeah, that's when you find out all these things and say, well, if I would have did this or somebody would have explained it to me when I was younger, I could have, easily went into it. I didn't see it that way. I didn't understand the real seriousness of it. Life oftentimes kicks in, and when it kicks in, that's when you see, the seriousness of things. And I don't wish this on anybody and stuff. And sometimes people have probably done been through it, but um, if you got if you got any kind of well, I'm just saying, in life, there are things that you're going to be responsible for. There are things you're going to be responsible for and stuff. And so it's best that you get an understanding about it. And yeah, it's best that you get an understanding about it and go into it with a collective mindset. Cause um, death is something that's going to happen to us all. But when it happens to our loved ones and stuff, you still have to. Business is business, regardless of the fact that this loved one and stuff is no longer with you. You still got to go and you got to handle business. And so um, you got to be somewhat, I ain't gonna say somewhat, you're gonna have to be clear headed. You're gonna have to start talking to people, you know. You're gonna have to start talking to people at the most difficult of times where you're supposed to be, when you're in mourning. When you're in mourning, you're not really thinking, or you don't want to think on a level of business. Like, man, listen, I just want to take a break right now, and I just want to mourn my loved one, to be around my loved one one last time. But business is going to have to be handled, and so you're going to have to go. Um, you're going to have to go, and you're going to have to conduct business and get those affairs and stuff in order. But if there's nothing more, I mean, there's nothing more that can really keep you from mourning than the fact that the individual that you have to take care of and stuff didn't have their affairs in order. So you don't know exactly what to do. You don't know exactly what to do and stuff. And so people are going to be coming up out the woodworks and stuff and saying, well, hey, um, I knew this individual longer than you did and stuff, and this the way that they want things and stuff handled and so on and so forth. And then now it's time to pay for all this stuff. Okay, yeah, well that's on you. Now they looking at, okay, who make the most money in the family? Who make the most money in the family? Because the one that makes the most money is the one that's gonna be paying for all this. And so if you know that you're that person, if you look around at the family and you can tell, okay, yeah, hey, I make the most money, well then, you need to go ahead and start taking those affairs and stuff, start taking that situation right there seriously and get some real stuff going. Have some real conversations. Hey, listen, do you have life insurance? Okay. How do you want things handled? How do you want things handled? Because it looked like it's gonna be falling on me, right? It's going to be falling on me and stuff. And, I need to know how you want things taken care of, how you want things handled while they're still here. Because when they ain't here no more, there's no talking to them. There's no talking to them and stuff, man. And people just show up right out the woodworks, you know. Um, I talk about, there's a difference between, because I lost both my parents now. My mother passed away first, but a lot of her affairs and stuff wasn't explained to me how she wanted things done. There were things that was here and there, but once my mother passed away, man, I mean, family they started showing up all out the woodworks, you know, claiming that they understood my mother better than I understood her, and she gave birth to me. I known her all my life, and um, let's just say I didn't get a chance to grieve. I didn't get a chance to grieve over my mother the way I the way I could have, or the way I should have, because I was dealing more with people and stuff in the family. And that was because, they wanted to take over the whole thing and make it more about them and stuff rather than, respecting the wishes of my mother, who I knew all my life. But, you don't want to be in that position. So you got to have a real, you got to have a real talk and stuff, man. I mean, cause it's business. and this is something that's going to happen. You got to lay it all out there. Okay, look, because it's nothing more. I didn't get a chance. I didn't get a chance to mourn over my mother properly. In fact, it made it caused more dissension in the family. It caused more dissension in the family than it did at a time and stuff where it was supposed to heal. So, but she never really laid it out to me about how she wanted things done. And so things still got done and stuff, but it just that was just something that wasn't talked about and stuff. And so my father, on the other hand, my father he had all his business and stuff laid out. So, you know, um, when my father passed away, there was really nothing I needed to do and stuff except go sign a few forms and make sure that certain duties and stuff got carried out. But it was a real simple process, and so it really gave me time. It gave me time to mourn. It gave me time to grieve, and it was okay. It was a real. I got it out of me and stuff like that. I'm not worried about anything and stuff. What's done is done. So big difference between the way my mother did things and the way my father did things. But he always laid it out to me and stuff and said, okay, this is how things are going to be done. In the event of my passing. So these are the things that you have to do, and the stuff that he said, I had to do it. You know, and it's hard business, it's tough business, but it's got to be handled. And that was something again that he also stressed too. You're like, look, um, it's gonna, it's not gonna be easy, but it's something that has to be handled. And I don't want you down here worrying and being frustrated and stuff. You do what you got to do, move on with your life. I got these set asides and stuff. I set these set asides and stuff for you and you specifically. This is how I want things and stuff handled. So, you know, and so I will hope that people that are parents and stuff, that they do the same thing when it comes to their children. But, you know, um, this type of knowledge it wasn't something that my father, my mother, and stuff knew that they could pass on to me. And so, I'm coming into time now and stuff where I'm researching these things to say, okay, well, yeah, I guess if I was younger, I could have done these things, but I'm in these programs and stuff now. And so, for people to listen to me, I can pass this information on to you and say, well, okay, this can be beneficial. So, again, we're going to be talking about whole life insurance. And so, I'm getting with an agent. I'm getting with an agent and stuff. And so, along with the CPA, and stuff, I'm gonna have a whole life agent that's gonna give a better breakdown and stuff about how it actually works. The real idiosyncrasies and stuff, how things work, so it doesn't sound like I'm trying to, um, just speak more on an expert that's in it. I got somewhat of an understanding how things and stuff work and how it's beneficial. But to give you a better understanding, just talk to an agent. And I hope that some of you guys and stuff actually go to the place that I went to. Cause I mean, it's you know doing enough research and stuff on them. I think that this is the very best. This the very best way and stuff um, to go. And so I just, hey, um, this is who I recommend anyway. But for those who are this is something about life and stuff that we really don't pass along, or we really don't talk about, that can be beneficial, you know because we don't talk. Retirement is not something that people really talk about and stuff anymore. I mean, you can retire, but if you ain't got anything put away, then what are you going to do? People talk about IRAs and 401ks and CDs and stuff like that. Again, These are just markets that you get into, you invest, and maybe you can get into it and it pays out, but it's just an investment thing and stuff. And you see with the stock market, it's very unstable. Some days are good, and then some days and stuff are bad. And why not get into something that's going to be beneficial all the way around? Is what I say. And so, whole life insurance is something that was introduced to me that I wish I could have participated into when I was a young person, because I've been driving trucks 21 years now. I've been driving trucks 21 years now. If I would have got this policy when I first stepped into it, I was 21 years old and stuff. Um, at 20, at 37, I could have been done. I could have been done with that, and the policy would have been paying for itself and saying, well, instead of me getting out here and working and saving the money up and stuff, and then investing it in other things, the money would have been there. I wouldn't have to work so hard to build up an escrow to take care of my business. The business would I would have capital there if I needed to borrow against the business and put it back. So in a sense, I'm my own bank, but I'm my own bank that doesn't get 6% interest over time over this account that I have now. You know, that had I had that 21 years ago when I stepped into the market, when I stepped into trucking at 6% interest. You see, just the interest alone and stuff, right? If I had to borrow again, just to go get a truck. Well, okay, well, I can get a down pay, I can, um, yeah, if I want to go get a new truck or a new trailer and stuff, I got a policy that can take care of that because I got some at 6% interest. Yeah, the work will pay for itself, but hey, if things get slow or whatever, or I don't have to go and apply for some credit card or whatever, because I can borrow against myself. I can borrow against myself, and because I have financial discipline, right, and can use it towards the thing, use it towards the business, you can make the money back in a hurry and just put it back in there. So, yeah, it's just when people speak about these sort of things, they make it seem like it's a hustle, and people aren't going to be interested in things if it sounds like a hustle. So that's one of the things about life lessons that I wish that a person would have took a time and stuff, to give me an understanding and stuff about. Which leads me to the next thing: life lessons about us as individuals, right? Now I'm gonna veer off a little bit. I'm gonna veer off a little bit off the trucking thing, off the business thing. But at the same time, it still kind of ties into business. But I want people to understand something from a 40-year-old perspective, because where we see now stuff where people are relationship experts and relationship gurus and telling you that you know you're trying to be the alpha man or the sigma man or all these other things and stuff. And so no one really sat me down to let me know how life and stuff work. And so I done took a lot of, there's a lot of things that happen in my life. And the thing is that it's nobody's fault but my own. Yeah. Um, there's things that happen that I ain't gonna say I wish I knew. There were things that was going on that I actually knew that I didn't do anything about because I thought that I can be an exception to the rule or change the standard, and I wound up becoming a statistic. And I wind up becoming a statistic, and I say that, well, this thing about life, this game on this life is a game that you got to play, and the rules are already set in stone. You can't go in there, you can't change it. You can't change it no matter what kind of person you declare yourself to be. If you're a good person or a kind-hearted person or whatever, I'm not saying that you got to resort to underhanded tactics in order to win the game, but you gotta play the game by the rules. You gotta play the game by the rules and stuff. And I know that sometimes the rules may seem unfair or they might not seem right, or I don't think that I could be this type of individual or whatever and stuff, man. But this is what you're going to have to be, whether you like it or not. And so, growing up, I was a person I didn't have a lot of self esteem, right? And when you're a person that has low self esteem, everybody picks up on it. Everybody picks up on this stuff. And so, you're now in a situation where a person is going to take full advantage of that. They're going to take full advantage of it. We always often say good guys finish last and stuff like that because what happened is that you're going against a rule. So you think that you're going to be an exception and you wind up being a statistic because the rules are set in stone. And so what I understand is that when I was a boy, I came into manhood, which made me a man. But to be a, in order for me to be the upper echelons of what it means to be a man, which means a gentleman, is something that I can evolve into. It's something that I can evolve into. Boys become men, men become gentlemen. That's the highest echelons that you can be. It's a gentleman. And so there are requirements and stuff in order for you to be a gentleman. But you got to be a man first. But you got to be a man first. And so that means as a man, you got to understand this game for what it is. And you got to do and act accordingly. So they talk about the good guy, right? They talk about the good guy. And so the good guy is just, at the end of the day, you just a simp. You're a simp and you're a sucker because you decided that you wanted to go against the rules. Um, Women can be three things. You got girls, you got women, and you got ladies. Girls, women, and ladies. A girl can either be one or two things. Either she gonna be a woman or she gonna be a lady. If she's a lady, she can become a woman. The lady is the highest echelons of woman. It's the highest echelons of womanhood. If she's a lady, if she's a lady, then you give. Well, let me say this: as a man, where we mess up at, as men, where we mess up at, is that we give women, ladies, respect. We give women, ladies, respect. And this is where we mess up at because in order to be a lady, you have to be qualified. You have to be qualified. But expect men, women expect men and stuff when you talk to them to respect them as ladies. Now I'm just saying, I'm not saying that you get out here and start disrespect. I ain't saying not to get out here and disrespect people. You can respect a woman, but you can't give a woman a lady's respect. You can't give a woman a lady's respect. And if you do, which is the funniest thing about it, it's the men who will remind you that you're not with a lady, but you're with a woman. It's the men that will do that because if you talk to most men and stuff, who do they usually target? They usually target. They usually target men who are treating women like ladies. If you're a man that's out here taking care of a woman and giving her a lady's respect, what am I talking about? You you got her, you put her up in the house, you paying all the bills, you buying her a car, you taking care of the children and stuff that's not yours. Um, you venerating this woman to a point to where she is, you know, she's your everything. So when a man sees that, they got to take that down a peg and say, well, okay, since you want to respect this, since you want to give this woman a lady's respect, let me show you what kind of lady that you have. So the man will come up, he'll run game on the woman, right? Now, he'll run game on the woman and stuff. Now, in order to be with this woman that you venerate as a lady, these are your this is what you do for her. And so then you find out and stuff that they done slid into the DMs and she having a conversation with him. She probably went out with him to a point to where she starts now spending your money. He gets to drive your car. He gets to come in your house. He's sleeping in your bed with your woman, well, with your lady. And he didn't have to put no effort in. He didn't have to put in no effort. He didn't have to buy a house. He didn't have to buy a car. He didn't have to pay all the bills and stuff like that. And so the man reminds you what the game is. If I got this woman that you venerating as a lady and you're doing all this stuff for her, then who's the fool? Who's the fool? You're venerating her as a lady. And I got her and I didn't have to do any of this, I didn't have to do any of this stuff that you doing. And so now who are you supposed to be upset with? Who are you supposed to be upset with? Well, most men will be upset with the woman and say, "Oh man, she did this to me and stuff." This is what life, this is what life has to teach you, is that everything that happened was based upon you and what you did. It's not the woman's fault because the woman is doing what she does naturally. She's a woman. She's a woman. Because if she was a lady, you wouldn't have nothing to worry about. Because when you venerate her as such, right, you don't have to worry about these things. You don't have to run mock scenarios and holler at your boy and stuff to say, hey man, listen, I'm gonna put this woman through some I gotta test this woman to see if her loyalty is intact. You see what I'm saying? You playing games with yourself because you know if you got to do those things as a man, right? If you got to do those things as a man and stuff, you know that you got a woman in your midst. And so if you got the woman in your midst and stuff, you got to treat her as such. You know what type of woman that you have. You know what type of woman that you have. But you're trying to evolve her into something that she can't evolve into. Women cannot evolve into ladies. They go from girls to ladies. Because just like men got a rites of passage, women got the same thing. Women have rites of passages. But the thing is that ladies grab the girls and give them the knowledge and stuff, man, and they're ladies from the start. So see, when a gentleman gets in their midst, that's how they're able to get together and they build. Because when you're a gentleman, what you understand is that what you understand when you got a lady in your midst, that the things that she do, the information that you give her can compromise everything that you got going on. A lady will never do that. Women will. When you trying to build with a woman can compromise everything that you have. She can compromise everything that you have. Look at look at some of the people that you follow. Look at Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate supposed to be Andrew Tate supposed to be the upper echelon of what it means to be a high value man. Heck, look at Kevin Samuels. Now I'm saying this is a person that gets up there and brags about all the things and stuff that he has, right? But then how was he compromised? How was he compromised? Because if he was a gentleman that was doing gentleman things and stuff, he doesn't okay, yeah, I give you the game, but I don't have to sit over here and beat my chest and stuff and show you how big my penis is. I'll show you through my actions. Because they hit you up with a RICO act. Some women came forward and said that this man was raping them. That's how they got locked up. Your man Donald Trump, right? Your man Donald Trump is being indicted by the grand jury in New York simply because he paid for sexual access with a porn star and then gave her hush money after he paid her to have sexual access with her. He has to turn around and give her hush money so that she doesn't go and make things harder for him in his plans to become the president. And now he got to go before a grand jury because his business has been compromised because he wanted to go out here and lay with a woman. Not understanding, but see, the thing is that his wife his wife is doing ladylike stuff. It doesn't mean that she's a lady now. It doesn't mean she's a lady. She's acting ladylike, which meaning she's not putting more fuel on the fire. But you see what I'm saying? This is what the high value man and stuff. This is what they resorted to. Kevin Samuels, he wound up passing away, being in a compromisable position. But all he talked about and stuff was, okay, this is what the high value man does and stuff like that. In other words, paying for sexual access with other women. But your game's supposed to be on point, right? Your game's supposed to be on point, but then look at how you go down in a compromisable position. You know, so money can't be the gist of all things and stuff. I mean, that's money does help, but it doesn't qualify you to be a gentleman. Money just means you can put money in the hands of a man, and a man is just gonna go out here and do what he does best. Gentlemen aren't going to do that. Gentlemen are not going to put themselves in compromisable positions, to have certain things and stuff happen to them. See, as a man, you can evolve into that. You can evolve into a gentleman. You know, like I said, I was messing with a woman. This I was messing with a woman and stuff like that. I ain't gonna say she had me so messed up, but I was so messed up in my mind that I was willing to kill myself over this woman. I was willing to kill myself over this woman. And when they locked, when I had to go and get, I had to go get admitted. I had to go get admitted, right? I spent 9 days in there and stuff reflecting on something. I'm like, man, dude, wait a minute. This ain't this ain't none of her doing. This all my doing. I'm doing this to myself. Nobody else is doing this to me. I'm doing this to myself because when you understand the situation that you in, the red flags and stuff that go on that men just ignore because you got low self-esteem, you cool with the fact that you got sexual access, that you got more access to sex on a regular. You tend to overlook some of the red flags and stuff because you like, well, I didn't have. I mean, I finally got with a woman. You know, I got me a woman and stuff like that. Instead of understanding the game, instead of understanding the game. And so you figure just because you got a woman, well, I'm gonna go all out since I got one. I'm gonna make sure that she has the best life and provide for her and stuff like that. But the thing is that she don't qualify. She don't qualify. Of course, she's gonna take it. What person isn't gonna take it? You paying their bills, you buying them cars and stuff. You giving them a better way of life. But the thing is that what she is by nature. The red flags are there and stuff. So as soon as your back is turned, you know, soon as your back is turned and stuff, I mean, once the guy recognizes, okay, yeah, this is who I'm going after. I'm going after this woman right here. Now they sliding up in the DMs, and you got to now have a conversation with her about the fact that somebody is sliding up in her DMs. You don't have to have no conversation. You see the red flags, you act accordingly. Okay, she's compromised, and so what do you do with what do you do with things and stuff that's compromised? Well, you keep it at the degree, you keep it at the degree of what it is. Okay, you don't put any stock into it. You don't put no stock into it. Hey, you playing the game, she playing the game too. You messing with a woman, you treat her like a woman. You respect her as a woman, but you don't put no lady, but you don't give no woman no lady respect. And this is what we mess up as men and stuff every single time. We're over here having these conversations. We're over here having these conversations about things that we shouldn't even be having these conversations about. Because this is what we do. This is what we do. And so again, a boy a boy becomes a man, but once you become a man, are you going to take that step and evolve into a gentleman, or are you just going to stay a man? Because if you're a man, you're just going to do man things. You're just gonna do man things and stuff. Can you push your mentality to a point to where you're unbothered? You're unbothered by the woman? Cause we shouldn't even be having these conversations and stuff about what women, what women are doing and stuff like that. We know what they do. We know what they do and stuff. And so, I mean, give a woman's respect. Give a lady's respect. Give a lady's respect. But if you're a gentleman, you're not worried about a woman. You're not worried about a woman. You're gonna be right there with your lady. And things gonna take care of the way they're gonna take care of it and stuff. Look at Denzel Washington, for instance. Does anybody know what's without looking on Google? Without looking on Google, do you know Denzel Washington's wife name? Let me. Does anybody know Denzel Washington's wife name without going on Google? Have you seen her get up there and start leading the conversation? Can she tell you about Denzel Washington? Can she tell you about Denzel Washington? But I'm saying, you see, the thing is, he's in the presence of a lady, and the thing, and it goes deeper than that. Is that because of him being a gentleman and being in the presence of a lady, they now raised up a child, and then their son wanted to be his own person, and the only way that he would give acknowledgement about the only way he'll give acknowledgement about his parents and stuff is that you got to come to him and say, "Hey, aren't you Denzel Washington's son?" But his accolades and his achievements and stuff want to be based upon him. He don't want to do anything. He don't want to do anything to off the success of his parents. He wanted to be his own individual. He low key, yeah. Recognize me for the things that I do, not because I'm the son and the daughter, not because I'm not because I'm the son of my father and my mother. I want my achievements and my accolades to be my own. But at the same time, When it's time to give respect, I'm gonna give respect where it's due and stuff. I'm gonna venerate my parents, but the work that I put in is my own. The work that I put in is my own. You know, Samuel Jackson. Have you ever seen? Have you seen Samuel? You know, do you know Samuel Jackson's wife? Without looking her up on Google. See what I'm saying? I mean, she's a lady. She's a lady in a lady's position. She doesn't get out there and stuff and start talk. She doesn't get out there and start talking about her husband and putting her husband mess on Front Street and to put compromising the position of the husband because she also compromises herself. A lady is in a lady's position, and that's the thing there. See, we can always talk about the women, but you know what I'm saying. You know, we can always talk about the women all day long and stuff. On OnlyFans, there's lots of women and stuff on OnlyFans and IG and all that other stuff there. But you know what I'm saying? I mean, but see, for somebody that got low self esteem, right? If you got low self esteem, that's the woman that you're trying to grab up. That's the one you trying to snatch up, and you trying to say you trying to put her in a lady's position. When she done compromised herself, she disqualified for being a lady. She's disqualified. Men understand that. True men understand that. And they show you this every day and stuff in their conversations. Like, man, you're not gonna sit this, men get up here and stuff and they start, hey, look, I done been with this chick or that chick or this chick or that chick, and you ain't sitting there pulling paperwork and you ain't pulling the paperwork and stuff. So then what you do? You finally get with her and you doing things and stuff for her. You doing things stuff for her that shouldn't be done for her because you venerate her as a lady. She had the opportunity to be a lady. She didn't want to be a lady. But she demands respect from you to treat her as a lady. And even when you give her that respect, she ain't even when you giving her that respect and stuff, man, she ain't gonna accept it. She just gonna find another man and stuff as soon as your back and stuff is turned. Which now puts you in a compromisable position. You see? Because you in a compromised position because when you come home and you find this man in your bed, right? And he know it's your house. He know it's your bed. He know it's your car you driving, the money that you spending. You now in a compromisable position. So the first thing you do, you go grab something to do, and now put yourself in danger. What do we always say? Well, you take the man out, right? You take the man out, you get arrested, and then what's she out here doing? Finding another man to be with. But then a lot of times we talk about, well, we shouldn't be mad. We should don't get mad. What they say, don't get mad at me, get mad at your woman. I go a little bit further. I say, don't get mad at the woman, get mad at yourself because all the warning signs was there. All the warning signs was there and stuff. I mean, you know, when they say they got this phrase out here that's used. They say for recreational use only. That's a true saying. For recreational use only. You know, it's certain things and stuff that we know that we ain't supposed. It's certain things that we know that we ain't supposed to do based upon the person and how they got respect for themselves. It's a true saying, but see, we go against this every single day, and then we find ourselves and stuff in trouble. And like, well, dang, now you in prison serving a life sentence because you killed the man. When you killed the man and stuff, when you say, look, you supposed to charge that to the game. Hey, listen, I screwed up. I screwed up. So if you catch the man in your bed and stuff, you ain't supposed to get upset about that because all the warning signs was there and stuff. You're not supposed to be overcame by emotion because your position has been compromised. You did that to yourself. You did that to yourself and stuff. So what do you do now? Say, okay, well, it's cleanup time. It ain't no point in me trying to. Why do I need to talk to her and explain what I already see what's going on in front of me? You don't have to explain that. Okay, well, look, hey, it is what it is. Y'all get clean, go ahead, get cleaned up. But this is how a man evolves into a gentleman. He understands the mess that he made and stuff. Okay, well, it's time to clean this all up. Dude, I'm willing to start all over. I'm willing to start all over. So you can have all this. You can have the house, you can have the car, you can have the money. I'm willing to start over from scratch to make sure that I got a clean slate. So you can have all this. Yeah, I put a bunch of work into it. I put a bunch of work into it and stuff, but the thing is that I'm a gentleman. I'm trying to evolve into a gentleman. I'm saying I understand that I'm the one that's in control. And so if it means that I got to get up and walk away from the table, that's what I got to do. If I ain't got nothing but the clothes on my back and stuff, man, because all this right here is compromised. But I can get all this back. So what am I sweating? Because you already knew inside your mind and stuff that something like you ran these scenarios and stuff inside your mind. Your spirit didn't sit right. Men know this every single day. They know, hey, look, something ain't right. But then you want to call the woman and start talking about it. Man, let's talk about this uneasy feeling and stuff that I have. You got this uneasy feeling because she did something that alerted something, the gentleman that's inside of you to say, hey man, listen, this ain't right. It ain't nothing that need it's nothing that needs to be explained. It's nothing that needs to be explained and stuff because explaining it, the only thing that you're doing inside your mind, you're just trying to put your mind at ease over something that you know to be the truth. You know it's the truth, but you don't want to act on it. You don't want to do the hard thing and stuff. And the hard thing is accepting the fact that, hey, I put myself in this compromisable position. So it's going to have to take me to do the work and say, hey man, I got to work on self. I don't need to talk to her. I don't need to go to rehab and all these other places and stuff to try to fix something. I put myself in this messed up position. I put myself in this messed up position. So if anybody need to go to rehab, it's myself. I need to find out what's going on with me so that I don't put myself in this compromisable position anymore. And then you got to do what you got to do from there. You ain't got to sit there and smack a woman talking about, man, I got to follow her to a motel. I got to follow her to a motel because I got a suspicion that she messing around on me. You already had when you met her, all the red flags was dead in. You know she was doing. You know that she got a history. But I'm saying like when it comes to a woman, we somehow want to omit all this stuff. But and when we go out here and messing other certain things and stuff, just like buying a truck, for instance. When you going out here buying a truck, when you looking at a truck, what's the first thing you saying? Well, I gotta look who had the truck before I did. Where did the truck come from? How many how many people was in the truck? So I'm saying like, you going out here and buying a truck and stuff and you see that the truck is orange. You see the truck orange. Okay. This truck either came from one or two companies. It either came from Snyder, it either came from Snyder, or it came from the moving company. What's it, Binkins or Watkins? It either came from one or two places. It either came from Snyder or it came from Watkins. So you got to ask the question like, okay, well, where did the truck come from? So you got the truck out there and they got the same price. They might have the same miles on it and stuff, but what's going to be the selling factor? Where did the truck come from? This truck right here came from Snyder and this one right here came from Watkins. So you automatically know, okay, well, I need to be looking at this truck over here at Watkins because you know the reputation of Snyder. You already know the reputation of Snyder. Yeah, Snyder buy all types of trucks and stuff like that, and They're one of the largest trucking companies there is, but you're saying, well, shoot, they might have had some good drivers in them. They might not have had some good drivers in them. But if you go with that moving company, they might have said, he gonna say, well, it's an all owned operator outfit, and so the guy might he tell you, the salesman will tell you, well, um, this came from the moving company. The guy was an owned operator. He wanted to upgrade and get another truck. It's more believable. It's more believable. So you're more entitled to go to that particular truck over there at Watkins versus that truck over there at Snyder. I need to produce some paperwork and stuff. Well, with the women, it's the same thing. See, with the women, it's the same thing. We already, they ain't got no paperwork, but you know their history. You know where they came from. You know where the woman came from. You know her get down. Some of the stuff is painfully obvious. You get the woman and you see, okay, well, she got a few children and stuff, and so the kids might not have the same daddy. The kids might not have the same daddy and stuff. Then you red flags. This woman never been, she had kids, but she ain't never been married before. She never been married before. If she been married and stuff, man, okay. How long did the marriage last? The type of dude she was with is real important. Because you over here saying, all right, well, you're trying to establish a new relationship and stuff, but then look at the stuff she tolerated. Look at the stuff she tolerated. Then here you coming in here and stuff talking about, man, well, I gotta respect her as a lady. She ain't have enough respect for herself to she ain't have enough respect for herself to put herself in a lady's position, which she no longer qualifies for. But then here you come talking about, man, I'm gonna do right by her. I'm gonna do right by her and stuff, uh we're gonna build this life, together and everything, and then what happens? Dude shows back up. Or she finds somebody and stuff similar to who she messing with. Like, well, yeah, you cool and stuff like that. You alright. But the thing is that it's in her nature to do that. A woman cannot evolve into a lady. She is disqualified. She's disqualified and stuff. Give a woman's respect. Give a woman's respect. But understand that it's a lot of things that we do. It's a lot of things that we do and stuff that put ourselves in these compromisable positions, and that's what we got to cut out. I'm like, man, dude, you know, you sit over here, like I said, trying to treat the woman like a lady. You trying to treat the woman like a lady and stuff, but then she doing OnlyFans. You trying to respect her as a lady, but she doing OnlyFans. See what I'm saying? You done sat there and stuff, and then you done came across something. You done came across something. I mean, you know the history. You know the history and stuff. She done put herself in this compromisable position, but then she tell you, okay, I ain't like that no more. I ain't like that no more. I don't do that anymore. All it take is one time. And see, that's the that's the rites of passage of a lady. Ladies grab girls and teach them the craft of what it means to be a lady. They give them the signs young, because see, the lady is going to be demanding of respect. She's going to be worthy of the respect because she understands she's going to be put on the throne. But she also going to keep the ladies are going to keep themselves away from the men, because who they waiting on is the gentleman. So men need not apply. Because you ain't on that level. You can't provide, you can't do the things and stuff that you supposed to do for that lady because you ain't right. And see, this is what you see the men out here trying to do now. They trying to compromise the they trying to compromise the fellowships of ladies and saying, okay, well, the ladies need to stop being ladies and pull themselves down a peg. It's more women out here than you know what to do with. But the ladies are waiting for the gentleman. The ladies are waiting for the gentleman. And that's who's gonna grab them up. So if you want you a lady, you got to be a gentleman. Now, if you want to be a man and stay a man, cool. Do man things. Do man things and stuff. But you want to sit there and stuff and try to venerate your lady. You trying to venerate your lady, your woman into a lady. The men around you are gonna remind you that you ain't got no lady in your presence. See what I'm saying? When you sitting up there in the house and stuff like that, and you try, hey, hey, come on, man, let's go hang out. Let's go hang out and stuff. If you got a lady at the house and stuff, man, you can't be doing that. You can't be on Xbox and PlayStation and all that other stuff there. I ain't saying that the lady I ain't saying that the lady ain't gonna allow that, but the thing is the gentleman that's in you that's not gonna put yourself in that position. Cause you know what's gotta be done. Men gonna hang out with other men. Yeah, we're gonna go out here, we're gonna shoot the stuff, you're gonna shoot the stuff, but then listen to the conversations of the men. Listen to the conversations. And the conversations are always gonna be talking about women. Some of the stuff that they did and the things they about to do and stuff like that, and they about to slide through, or they sending them a message and so on and so forth. But men typically mess with women, and they mess with women who mess with other men. But that's what it's on and stuff. I mean, it's like if a porn star came up, if a porn star came up to you and said that she wanted to be in a relationship with you, you gonna take her seriously? Most porn stars and stuff, they got bad bodies. They got bad bodies and stuff, man. They the freakiest of the freaky of the freaky. But if you gonna take this chick seriously. You gonna take this chick seriously and stuff, man. Somebody that got some history. Another dude gonna come up and stuff and say, "Yeah, I had that bent over. Let me show you the video." You gonna respect that as a lady, cause she say she don't do it no more. She don't do it no more. She turned her life to Jesus. She done turned her life to Jesus and stuff. You done met you done met her in the church. You done met her in the church and stuff, and then here it is and stuff. She got a whole file and stuff on and everything. I'm saying, I mean, I'm just calling it for what it is. You can turn over a new leaf and stuff, but the thing is that a woman gonna stay a woman. A woman can never evolve into a lady. A lady can de-evolve into a woman, but she can never get back on that level of ladyhood. Men can evolve into gentlemen. Don't work that way with the women. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, shoot, dude, hey, hey, it's certain, it's certain guy, I'm just saying. So they talking about, man, you trying to go behind somebody. No, I ain't doing that. I ain't doing that because I already know that's I'm putting myself in a compromisable position. This world is too big, it's too large and stuff, man. is too big and too large and stuff, man, for me to sit there and talk. Oh, I'm about to slide it. I'm about to slide in a woman's DMs and stuff for what? I ain't playing games like that. I'm not playing games like that with somebody that I know. I'm like, shoot, like, hey, it's people on, I got friends on Facebook and stuff. I'm like, yeah, I know, you know, it's friend. I mean, like I said, I do, with my my excuse me, with my Facebook page and stuff. I'm like, some of these guys up here and stuff. I know they married. I know they married and stuff, and I'm like, man, when I'm looking at them pictures, I'm like, you ain't venerating that wife and stuff too much. You ain't venerating that wife and stuff too much, and I know why and stuff. I'm like, you know, my thing is that if you married, I'm only gonna be friends with the man. The woman, if she send me a friend request and stuff, I'm no, did not, did not, because anything that your husband posts, you should be posting it too. We went out and had a good time. We went out and had a good time, but I'm like, man, I'm sitting over there shaking my head like, oh, buddy, this ain't good. This ain't good, man. No, you can't hit me up and accuse me for that and stuff, man. I'm like, yeah, you know, I'm going over here and stuff, and then your wife get your wife getting upset with me and stuff because I didn't accept her friend request. Red flag, red flag. Why don't you come over here to the house and stuff? I'm like, oh no. The woman, the woman asking me that, compromisable position. Compromisable position, red flags and stuff for them. Like, man, dude, that's something that your husband's supposed to be saying. Like, look, your husband, he talked to me and said, hey, listen, hey, you coming over here to the house? All right, cool. Because I know when we come together, we're gonna do something constructive, and that's that. After the constructive stuff has been done, all right, man, listen, I'll holler at you later. I ain't going to the house and hang out and shoot the mess and all that other stuff there. I'm like, man, look, you know, plenty of places that we can go and we can sit down, we can talk and shoot the mess. I ain't coming to your house. I ain't coming to your house unless it's something that you need done. Hey, listen, I need some help moving something around the house. So I need some, you know, we got to fix something, we got to move something, or we doing something constructive. But you just talking about hanging out? Nah, got plenty of places we can hang out at. We ain't gonna be hanging out at the house. Cause see, you put yourself. That's a compromisable position. Red flag. I'm like, man, and then you wonder and stuff later on, man. Something done went down. Something done went down and stuff. Yeah, all the red flags and stuff was there. Like I said, gentlemen and ladies, they don't do that type of stuff. You just don't allow anybody to come to your house because your house has the most delicate of stuff. Your house tells a story. That's you being you. Just gonna let anybody in your house? Just gonna let anybody in your house and stuff? Compromisable position. But that's the thing there and stuff, man. To make a long story short, men ain't got no reason to get mad at a woman because she's doing what she's supposed to do. As a man, men do stuff that they supposed to do. And if you find yourself in a position getting upset with a woman, you need to check yourself and say, man, all right, why did I allow myself to be put in a position like this? You don't need no explanation except to anybody but yourself. Fix yourself. You ain't got no reason to argue at any woman or ask for an explanation because the explanation is inside you. Why didn't I act upon that feeling that I had inside me when I knew that something wasn't up? Because I'm weak. Because I'm weak and I want to get strong. you can have feelings, and you can have affections for people and stuff, but just make sure it's in the right place. Make sure it's going to be reciprocated. Cause you put, a lot of us, we put ourselves in wrong positions, man. Like I said, myself, low self esteem. I had low self esteem, and because of that, it put myself in compromisable positions. But again, I'm here to tell you is that you know everything that happened to me was my fault. I got cheated on and stuff. I'm like, I can't blame her. I blame myself. I got cheated on and stuff like that. Hey, I blame myself. I'm the loser. She ain't the loser. The dude that was messing with, he ain't the loser. I'm the loser. I gotta fix me. I gotta fix me and stuff. So I'm like, once I was straight, no, I don't have any word. I don't have any words and stuff like that. But the thing is that in the position that I'm in, like, then he want, I guess sometimes people want to do little stuff to kind of rub it in your face. I'm like, hey, the guy wanna kind of come up and stuff, and then like I said, try to rub it in, try to rub it in you. Hey man, look, you the winner. You want it, you can have it. You want it, you can have it and stuff. But I'm saying, see, that's what men do. Men trying to show you and stuff, man. Hey, look, I can get your woman. Okay, you got her. You got her. Now, when I start evolving into that when I evolve into the gentleman, let's see if you, let's see if you can replicate that, and that's a good thing if you can. It's a good thing if you can, but the thing is, you ain't got nothing because who's sending who messages? You sitting over here. I mean, I'm just, it's just it's so much stuff I'm seeing. I'm like, man, this dude over here, you following this woman? Why? All the red flags and stuff was there. Oh, I need to look at your phone. What you need to look at the phone for? You already know what's in there. You already know, cause that's how you got there. What is it that you need? What is it that you need to see? What does she have to prove to you? Stuff that you already know. You getting your own self worked up, right? To try to justify nonsense. To try to justify nonsense. Yes, you are the fool, but you don't have to stay the fool. And how you not stay the fool is understanding and accepting the fact that you put yourself in that compromisable position. Okay, now let's do something about it. But I have to do something about it based upon me. I ain't got to sit there and get all upset and start tearing stuff up. Man, I'm ready to fight I'm ready to fight somebody. That's why I say, look, is when they say it's easier to leave and stuff, man, it is. You don't owe nobody no explanation and nothing. Like, hey, look, I'm about to add up. I see you later. The phone gonna be ringing. The phone gonna be ringing. You gonna get a whole bunch of texts. You gonna get a whole bunch of stuff saying, "Oh, I'll never do it again. I'm sorry that I hurt you. Let's work things out," and all this other stuff there. See, that's just a person trying to save face, just like you. That's just a person trying to save face. They understand. Okay, the jig is up. Ain't no more free rides and stuff because you fixed yourself now. You understand? See, she got to take care of herself now. She ain't gonna be venerated. She ain't gonna be in that false sense of veneration no more. She understand the positions done been compromised now and stuff. Look, uh, the rent ain't gonna get paid no more. She got to find somewhere else to stay and stuff. She ain't gonna have that nice house. She ain't gonna have that nice car. And if she do, she got to get it. She got to get it for herself. She got to get it for herself. I hate to say it and stuff, man, but we know some women out here. Why they driving trucks? You can make six figures, and I'm not saying that you should deny yourself from the best things in life, but it's an attention getter because a lady understands she ain't got to drive a truck. to make six figures. You don't have to get you don't have to get into something that's male dominated. You see what I'm saying? When you going in there in that butcher shop and you cutting off the heads of chickens and cows and stuff, and you covered in blood, and you got to do the nasty stuff to make those hamburgers, and you got to make those hamburgers and those chickens and stuff like that. When you got to go do the nasty necessary thing to make a living, doesn't make you a man. It makes you a gentleman. But see, she want to go to the butcher shop too. She want to cut. She want to cut the heads off. She want to get all bloodied up and stuff like that. She want to get all bloody up and stuff like that to pull her pants down and say, "Look, my penis is bigger than yours. My penis is bigger than yours." Okay, you a woman, and I'm going to respect you as such. You a woman, I'm going to respect you as such. But I'm saying, other than that, I mean, yeah, I make the same type of money that you do and stuff. So this is what I'm bringing to the table. Okay, well, you in the presence of a woman. You in the presence of a woman and stuff. So I'm saying, I mean, look, the only thing it could be at the end of the day, the only thing it could be at the end of the day and stuff is like, okay, well, I'm a man, you a woman. We go do our thing and stuff. I'm gonna go my way, and you go your way. Cause they'll play it off and stuff. Oh well, it ain't a sex thing and stuff. That's exactly what it is. Recreational use only. Can't no relationship come out of it. I respect my position. I respect my position as a man. I respect your position as a woman. We come together, we do our thing and stuff, we go our separate ways. That's what we do. No harm, no foul. But you got that mentality, but you want me to respect you as a lady. You got that type of mentality, but you want me to respect you as a lady. When I pull your paperwork up and stuff, right? I pull your paperwork up, you want a lady's respect. You want a lady's respect, but then you up here on Paternity Court and Mulvey Povich and all that other shows and don't know who the baby daddy is. They took six dudes up here and stuff, and then you see how the dudes up there, how they acting, and I'm going behind that. I'm going behind that. A dude who can't even, a dude that can't even recognize and stuff, man, that he's a dude. I'm with a woman today, but I'm with a man tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? I'm going behind that. I'm going behind that. No, gentlemen don't put themselves in compromisable positions. But you know what? Neither do the ladies. Neither do the ladies. Anything other than that and stuff, man, you messing with a woman. And so, I mean, a woman, okay, give her respect as a woman. And I'm not saying I ain't saying about disrespecting her and stuff. Hey, give a woman respect. But you going to give a lady respect. But one thing I ain't gonna do, and I wish I would have learned that a long time ago. I'm never going to respect a woman. I'm never going to give a woman a lady's respect. Never gonna do it because a woman is not going to give you a gentleman's respect. A woman is not going to respect the man the way that she respects a gentleman. And that's all there is to it. Your shortcomings and stuff, man. Like, you up here, think about it the next time and stuff. You talking about going up here, going live and stuff, and want to go talking about the women and stuff like that. Like, no, dude, get up there and talk about yourself and say, hey, man, listen, I was the fool, I was the dummy, I was the chump. I got taken advantage of and stuff because this is what I did. And I'm not saying that you got to succumb and stuff and become a. You ain't got to sit there and become the same things and stuff if you know that they're bad. You ain't got to inflict that on others. Don't take that. Don't take that route there and stuff. It was done to me, so I got to do it to other people. You trying to evolve into a gentleman and saying, well, look, this is why I don't do that because I know how it is. I know how it feels. I'm not gonna be that dude on the other side and stuff, man, trying to put myself in a compromisable position and sleep and try to sleep with some woman and try to sleep with some woman and stuff and I know I can get it, but she got a boyfriend and she got a husband or whatever. He got to find that out on his own. But I'm saying to put yourself in that compromisable position because it was done to you. No, don't be no sucker like that. Work on yourself. And then the other thing and stuff, man, don't ever pay for sex, man. Don't do that. Don't do that route either, man. Don't do that route either and stuff, man. Don't go out here and talk about, man, I'm gonna go out here and sleep with prostitutes and stuff like that to have sex with. You ain't gotta do that either. Don't do that. Because you putting yourself in a very dangerous, compromisable position doing that. That's the you know what I'm saying? I mean, that's a loser's route right there. That's a loser's route right there and stuff, man. Paying for some sex, nah, you ain't gotta do that either. I never endorse it. Like I said, you know, because the people who do it, what good comes from it? You pay for sex, and now you got to pay this woman to stay quiet about the fact that you paid for sex. I thought the whole thing was paying for sex was so, you know, everybody was getting their needs and stuff satisfied. Okay, well, you know, I'm getting my rocks off, she getting some money and stuff, and that's that. But then you go out here and you become something with yourself, and now she hitting you up and saying, well, and there's a thin line between consent and the other word. Now the next thing you know and stuff, you got FBI and stuff kicking your door in. They're kicking in your doors and stuff like that, talking about, yeah, we got you on some charges and stuff here that's gonna get you about 20 years in prison for some stuff that was for some stuff that what you thought was a business transaction. You thought it was a one and done, it was over with and stuff like that. Nah, it ain't done. Nah, it ain't done and stuff. It was a no strings attached. It was a no strings attached type deal and stuff. All parties were supposed to be understanding, like, hey, look, she came to the motel room. She came to the motel room and stuff at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, stuff like that. So she needed you know, she came to the motel and stuff 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. But you know, it hey, it is what it is, right? All knees and stuff that's bending ain't praying. Just like Rudy Ray Moore said and stuff, no one knows where the nose goes when the doors is closed. But here you are and stuff 10 years later. Here you are 10 years later and stuff. You got to go over here and explain the fact that, well, when everybody already know what it is and stuff. But the thing is that you know now you got to go over here and explain it. Now you got to explain it because you went over here and paid for sexual access. You know, don't work out for people. That's all I'm saying. I'm like, I mean, why this man got to do? Everybody knew what the game, like R. Kelly. This man doing 30 years in prison for what? He doing 30 years in prison and stuff like that. But I mean, they all, everybody knew what time it was. But he got to do the long walk now. He got to do the long walk and stuff. Ron Jeremy. Man, they went after old tail Ron Jeremy. I'm like, dang, Ron Jeremy? like, man, come on, dude. Ron Jeremy's supposed to be a legend. This man over, he cooling his heels and stuff, man. He cooling his heels and stuff. Got my man. He had like, come on, dude. You done had everything under the sun and stuff. You done had everything under the sun, man. When it picked them up, oh come on, Ron. Come on, Ron. It's time to do the long walk. Time to do the long walk and stuff. But yeah, we know what time it is. And like I said, just cause you got money doesn't mean that you insulated and you safe. Cause gentlemen do gentlemen things and stuff. Like I said, I mean, they talk, oh, Donald Trump. I mean, can you imagine that? You sitting over here, you a billionaire. That I mean, that really shows how much of a loser you are. Like straight up. I mean, don't get me wrong. He's a good politician, but I'm just saying it plays into the mindset of this man. Now you trying to tell me you sitting over here a billionaire. You over here a billionaire, and you just come up with the idea. Let me go over here and holler at Stormy Daniels. Let me holler at Stormy Daniels and shoot her some money. Yeah, that's a good idea. I'll go over here and get Stormy Daniels and pay her some money to have some sexual relations with her. And I'm saying now, you can go up on the free site and you can see her get down. You can go up on any free porn site and can see her get down, and you like, you know what? I want to do that too with her. You know what kind of a loser mentality you got to have and stuff, man, to do something like that, and you a billionaire? You a billionaire. That just show you ain't got no swag. Because you ain't supposed to get put up in no position like that. You ain't supposed to be in no position like that. Come on, man. You know better than that, man. That whole idea and stuff, man. That was just everything gone wrong and stuff. I'm like, man, and then you said, you know, what you did got other people in trouble. That's stupid. But you supposed to be such a genius. You supposed to be such a genius. You supposed to be good with money. But then something didn't tell you that, like, hey man, you know what? This a bad idea. This a bad idea. Out of all the women you can get, you go get the porn star. And okay, yeah, she ain't gonna say nothing. She ain't gonna say nothing. And here it is, you trying to be the president of the United States and think, oh well, yeah, ain't nothing gonna go wrong and stuff on this. Cause you know what I'm saying? Look at all the money, and then they talking about, oh well, they wasn't gonna prosecute. Look at all the money this man had to spend, right? Look at all the money he got to spend. Okay, you getting it? All right, you paid her money to sleep with her. Then you paid her money to keep quiet, and then you had to pay the guy to pay her to keep quiet. Now the DA presses charges against you. Now you got to go to New York and you got to pay bail. Now you got to pay a bailsman. Not to mention you got all these lawyers on retainer and stuff, right? Then you got to go to court and you got to stay in New York now. And you got to stay in New York until the trial's over with. All this while still trying to run for president. You see what I'm saying? And all of it came from the fact that he said that he wanted to sleep with this woman and he gonna give her some money and stuff to do it. You see what I'm saying? I'm like, I mean, just tell me, how does that make sense? How does that make sense? But you a genius? You a genius, man? Come on, that's a sucker move. That's a sucker move that simps do. And then I'm gonna wife up. I'm gonna go wife up a woman. I'm gonna go wife up a woman that got pictures of her on the internet. That's who I'm gonna choose. You know what I'm saying? That's sort of thing there and stuff where somebody can bring that up. Where somebody can bring that up in a conversation and say, man, hey, look, your wife and stuff, like, we used to get down and stuff back in the day. You know, that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, it's just people can say what they want about Barack Obama. People can say what they want about Barack Obama. I'm just saying, like, have anybody seen any naked pictures of Michelle Obama? Not to say, not to say that she ain't a lady, not to say that she ain't a lady and stuff, because her mouth tends to, you know she tend to say certain things and stuff. I'm just saying. I mean, you can't go on the internet and stuff and pull up a naked picture of Michelle. In fact, can't no dude come up and stuff and say, man, hey, listen, I used to get down with that. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no history and stuff there, but like I said, don't get me wrong now. Don't get me wrong. She's a good woman, but she ain't a lady. She's a good woman, but she ain't a lady. You know. But that's all I'm saying. I mean, hey, if y'all, you might have your own take on it and stuff like that, and I mean, that's cool. But I'm just saying, I mean, I'm giving you something from a 40-year-old perspective, and say, look, don't get up here and fuss and argue with no woman, because the woman that you with, you already know what her get down is from the start, so it ain't no surprise. It ain't no surprise and stuff. It ain't, oh, I didn't know she did that. Yeah, you knew she did that. You knew she did it. So anything that she does and stuff, don't be surprised by it. And don't explain. And don't get her to try to explain it. You know, you just got to explain it to yourself, man. Listen, why do I put myself in this compromisable position? Why do I deal with this? Because this is as far as I can go as a man. She showed me a little bit of attention and affection, and that's all I needed right there. Got to put in some work and stuff, man, to change yourself. Anything that happens to you and stuff, man, you put that on yourself. Put that on yourself and stuff, man. Like, look, hey, I'm out. You really ain't got to say nothing. Got to get up here and argue with him and stuff. Y'all seen that video? That dude that sat there and lost his life and stuff. That chick shot him that morning in front of his kids. You know what I'm saying? He put his that ain't the first time she did something like that. It's the last time, but she didn't wake up that morning. She didn't wake up in the morning and stuff and decide she gonna argue with this dude and then get the gun and start playing it. That ain't the first time she did something. He always been in that position. He didn't even, he was in danger and didn't recognize that he was in danger. That ain't the first time she did that. If he was gonna leave, hey, look, just go and roll out. You ain't got to tell nobody nothing. You ain't gotta tell nobody nothing and stuff. All thing you gotta do is just hit the bricks and stuff, man, cause you in danger. Cost him his life. Cause he on the phone and man, don't be putting your hands on me. Don't be putting your hands and stuff on. Dude, you supposed hey, you already supposed to be prepared for that. You waiting for somebody to come pick you up. No, dude. You supposed to already have the car out there cranked up ready to go. But see, that 50-50 stuff, she done took his car, she done took his car, done hid the car keys and all that stuff. Then now he got to wait for somebody to come pick him up. And then he on the phone advertising the whole thing. That ain't the first time she went live and stuff, and trying to call him out on stuff like. I mean, he put himself in a real dangerous position, and it cost him his life. So how many men and stuff we know like that? Dangerous positions. Man, I'm gonna do the 50. I'm gonna do the 50-50 thing. I'm gonna do the 50-50 thing and stuff, and then here it is. Now you trying to leave, and she can't. You trying to leave and stuff, and you can't go nowhere. You can't go nowhere and stuff. Cause the car ain't in your name. It's her car. You put yourself in that compromisable position. You ain't have no exit strategy. Gentlemen ain't got to have no exit strategy. Cause see, gentlemen ain't got to explain that to ladies. You ain't got to be doing all that. It is what it is. Y'all gonna have indifferences and stuff like that, but you ain't got not to a point to where y'all got to be saying stuff negatively to each other. No, you ain't got to get that far. But you sitting over here on the phone, and stuff, putting yourself in that dangerous position. See, compromised himself. The woman found the gun and stuff, and the woman found the gun and everything, and then she found out, oh, it ain't a game no more. She might have shot him by accident. She might have shot him by accident and stuff, but she ain't know. Hey, look, it was already one sitting in the head. Pulled, over there doing dumb type stuff, and then she pulled the trigger, and then bam. Now everybody screaming and all that other stuff. That they ain't had to do that. It's like what Don. It's like what Don Corleone said to Michael Corleone. Men can't be careless. Women and children can be careless. Men can't be careless. It's a true saying. Men can't afford to be careless. Cause I mean, shoot, she can get off on the technicality. She can get off on the technicality and stuff. I mean, shoot. I mean, they charged her with second degree murder and stuff, but I mean, uh, uh, everybody gonna be coming to her defense. Everybody gonna be coming to her defense and stuff like that. Hey, well, they saying all I kept hearing, oh, the guy was they saying he was bisexual. You know, somebody saying he was bisexual and stuff, and he got caught sleeping with a dude. I'm like, see what I'm saying? That's what men do. That's what men do and stuff. Put themselves in compromisable positions. You ain't got to do that, man. So they already got the defense and stuff for her and stuff. She might even beat the charges. Who knows? The battered wife. She was all abused and stuff like that. Oh, he mistreated me. He mistreated me and all that stuff there. She get off on that defense right there and stuff. Might do a few years. Might do a few years behind bars, about two, maybe a year and a half and stuff. They might even give a time served. But see, that's a prime example of men not taking their situation seriously, putting themselves in compromisable positions. She gonna threaten you. She gonna threaten you with a gun early in the morning in front of your kids and your mama in the house. Lessons that I wish that somebody would have sat down and told me in my younger days. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and end it there. I'm gonna go ahead and end it there and stuff. I appreciate y'all checking in with me and stuff. I hope that the information that I put out here was helpful. I know that the last part of it wasn't really dealing with trucking, but I mean it does deal with the business of your life. And just understand is that, hey, we as men, yeah, go ahead and shoot your question. Yeah, go ahead and shoot your question, Mr. Robbins. But as men, we gotta understand, son, is that, this is a game that we're gonna have to play, whether we like it or not. So we need to get real familiar with the rules and the regulations of the game and play accordingly. Because when they say don't hate the player, hate the game, that's a true saying. We ain't got no reason to be mad at players because, we all players. It's just some people understand the rules a little bit better than others. And they play accordingly and stuff. And so, if you get caught in the mix of it and stuff like that, don't get mad at the player because he understands the rules of the game. Get mad at yourself, get upset with yourself because you're not familiarizing yourself with the rules of the game. You know, don't put yourself in a compromisable position to a point to where things get all the way things get all the way bad. You know the red flags and stuff. You know all the little stuff that it starts out with. My voltage on my truck fluctuates from 13.7 to 14.4. Where do I need to start looking? You need to start looking at your battery connections. You need to start looking at your battery connections because something is yeah, something is touching where it ain't supposed to be and stuff, and it's drawing more power and stuff than it's supposed to. But yeah, start with your battery connections. Yeah, start with your battery connections. We just coming out of winter. We just coming out of winter and stuff. You know how to salt. You know how these salts and these dirt stuff like that and everything started. You know, it started messing with those connections and stuff with your battery. So I would start there first, and then work my way to the alternator. But um, that issue right there and stuff, that overcharging issue, that's coming from one of your connectors in your batteries. Cause either it's going to give it not enough charge or it's going to give it too much charge, and usually that means something under there is touching. Yeah, something under there is touching, so it'll maintain around 13.7. Then when you start, especially if you start driving and you start to get to moving around and stuff like that, that's when the voltage and stuff start shooting up. Cause something under there is touching that ain't supposed to be. So I go ahead and get on that and stuff. I mean, just check your connectors real good and stuff. Make sure everything is tight. Make sure you ain't got nothing loose. Yeah, make sure you ain't got nothing loose and stuff, and then start following those wires. Make sure ain't nothing. But yeah, that's what it basically is and stuff. It's something that's under there that's touching they ain't supposed to be. Cause usually it'll be another issue like if it start grounding out and stuff like usually the battery voltage and stuff will drop and then they'll rise back up. But yeah, you got that going on right there and stuff. Yep, no problem. So, fellas, again, appreciate y'all hanging out. I hope that the information that I gave was helpful. If you want me to elaborate a little bit more and stuff about it, y'all got my personal information up here on my YouTube page. Text me first. Let me know who you are. Let me know what it's about. And they'll give me time and stuff to prepare so that when we do talk and stuff like that, we can go in constructive dialogue. Hit me up on my Instagram page, which is Rhode Island Red Rooster 22. Rhode Island Red Rooster 22 on Instagram. I'm always post up things about my 2013 Freightliner Cascadia. And with that being said, y'all gentlemen have a good evening. This your man right here, the one, the only, that beautiful Rhode Island Red Rooster. Telling you as always, continue to do your own research, fact finding studies. Harness on your skills every day. Next time we talk, next time we meet, be safe, be easy. Peace out.